The movie's story opens with a flashback. An old man named Blackwood lived in a house with a basement. He asks his maid to bring something. As his maid was descending downstairs, he had set a trap for her. This has caused that poor maid to fall there. "Please pardon me," Blackwood says. "I didn't want to do this. They all are making me do this." The maid passed away right where Blackwood knocked out all of her teeth. Because no one could bear such bitter pain. Blackwood was so afraid. He collects every tooth and places it in a pot in front of a hole. He adds, "He didn't get the kid's teeth. He brought along some human teeth. Now take these teeth and return my son." In the darkness, Blackwood is eventually being dragged toward him by the same dark entity that was there. A young child named Sally is depicted. She was also visiting her father named Alex, that day by traveling alone. Her father had come to pick her up at the airport. The real story included that Sally's parents had been divorced. She had a friend named Kim, but Sally didn't like Kim. Afterward, it is seen that they all three come to this house. The home that was recently purchased by Alex was the one that was first seen at the beginning of the film. The scene from the following day is now displayed, showing Sally in the backyard garden. Sally was walking there and felt something behind the bushes. When she went to check that thing, the grandson of Blackwood appeared and stops her from going there. He warns her, "It is not a safe place. You shouldn't fall into the hole." Alex and Kim also come there, and Alex goes to check that place on the insistence of his daughter. There was a hidden area in this old house. In addition to finding a way under the stairs, he had begun to doubt the house. This path leads to an underground location. Blackwood's elderly grandson, however, did not like it. He may have had some knowledge of this house, so he did not want anyone to suffer harm once more. Alex and Sally make their way to the basement of the house. Although the basement was the same, the hole was now completely blocked. Sally attempts to open the gap she had begun to suspect. The next day, she comes to that basement covertly. While near the basement, she hears some noises. She thought that perhaps there was an inmate there, and they were expressing the same sentiment as they were getting hungry. Now Sally inserts a needle before that object to dispel her suspicion, which is eventually pulled inside. As she was about to open that hole with a wrench, her father happened to walk by. He asks her what is she doing here? Sally tells her father that she heard some sounds from there. Alex tries to hear the sound as well, but he is unable to do so. When he was doing so, someone tried to stab him with a needle, but Alex stood there at the right moment and deflected the threat by standing back a little. He says to his daughter Sally, "There is nothing. By accident, you heard something, and the partially unscrewed screw is also taken out." It is obvious here that the object that was inside this tunnel was about to emerge. When the basement door is opened, Sally tries to peep inside and finds some teeth in a pot there. Those teeth belong to Blackwood and his maid. When Sally tried to take those teeth, the pot collapsed, and all of the teeth were broken. Sally gets 2 teeth, and she keeps them. After that, a scene from the evening is shown, in which Alex was speaking with his ex-wife and revealed through their exchange that Alex had been granted custody of Sally. She will have to live with her father forever. After hearing her father's entire conversation, Sally is so upset. When she enters her room, she spots her moving teddy bear. She senses skepticism upon first catching a glimpse of that teddy bear, but she quickly realizes that there were 2 tiny creatures hidden behind it, which fled as soon as Sally appeared. Sally was attempting to locate them, and it is known that those creatures were also capable of communicating. She places that tooth under her pillow. Now mysterious incidents are occurring in this house. The next day, Kim finds out that her dresses have been torn. It was all committed by those creatures. But Sally is singled out for blame because she disapproved of Kim. The tooth that had been placed under Sally's pillow the night before had changed into a silver coin. Now Sally had heard a fairy tale. And she imagined that she was living a fairy tale. The following day, Sally, who is aware that someone is in the basement, leaves while carrying food. Meanwhile, Blackwood's old grandson appears and sends her away from there. He was carrying a torchlight and had come to lock the basement tunnel. Due to the light from the torch, those creatures fled the area. When Blackwood's elderly grandson attempted to block the tunnel, those creatures threw his toolbox to the ground and attacked him after stealing the tools. And they wounded him badly. He then uses the torchlight to save himself because the creatures were frightened of the light. He then emerges from the basement in some way, and when Sally and the maid see the man, they are so terrified. After that, police are also called, but Sally's situation had gotten worse. She had begun to feel uneasy in her own home, even though she still used to sleep with Alex and Kim. When Sally goes to sleep at night, Kim arrives to deliver her to her room, but those creatures were already there. When Sally awakens, they attack her. Alex and Kim enter her room in response to her shouts. When the light is turned on, the creatures run away, but Sally was so terrified that she told her father about them. Now that Alex believes her fear might be the cause, he calls a doctor to come to his house. Sally receives medical attention from the doctor, who also explains to them that she is depressed and afraid of living alone. Kim can be seen visiting the hospital to learn about the health of Blackwood's elderly grandson. Those creatures had distorted his face completely, and he was also not able to utter the words clearly. What is in that house? She inquires to him. Kim receives a hint from him that she needs to visit the library and read from a specific set of books. Now that she has gone to the library, she is aware that a man named Blackwood was a very well-known painter who specialized in landscape paintings. After that, Blackwood abandoned their habit of painting the natural world and began to create these sketches of monsters and demons. According to the story, those creatures used to live underground, which is inaccessible to humans. They feed on children's teeth and bones, and these creatures have already existed on Earth. The youngsters who put their teeth under their pillows will find a silver coin from there. Later, people ceased to believe these tales, and those enraged creatures lost their appeal. Now that Kim has access to a wealth of information through the library, she is aware that the son of the house's owner, Blackwood, has mysteriously vanished. Later, it is revealed that those creatures were attempting to kill Sally during a nighttime attack, but Sally's maid intervened to save her. She flees from this house in terror, and when Kim returns, Sally has already disappeared from there. In the meantime, Alex also comes to this house. At this point, Kim and Alex start looking for Sally together, and an argument between them occurs in the car because Kim had begun to believe this story as well. "We must leave this house," she was now saying to Alex. However, Alex advises her not to believe such tales. They find Sally and Alex and tell them both that our home is hosting a party tonight as they proceed. Kim speaks to Sally as she approaches, hands her a camera, and makes it clear that neither she nor the creatures can come into the light or be photographed. Sally grabs the camera and starts taking pictures of the creatures. That creature ruined one picture, but Sally wasn't going to stop pursuing them. The creatures attack Sally as she enters the library after locking the door. Sally was repeatedly photographing those creatures. With their sounds audible, everyone now moves in the direction of the library. The door was shut, but Alex managed to open it and they saved Sally. All the people were shocked there, and Sally defended her father with all those photos. Those creatures exist. Kim also shows many things to Alex as those paintings and stories. After seeing those proofs, Alex had begun to have some faith. The party ends, and everyone goes home. When Alex was about to get in the car and leave the house with his family, those creatures suddenly materialized. Those creatures entangle the rope in his feet and cause him to fall, which renders him unconscious. While inside the house, Kim also fell over and lost consciousness as a result of the accident. Now those creatures were going to take Sally down. They were dragging her to the basement after tying her with rope, but Kim restored her senses. She cuts those ropes to rescue her. As they attack her and drag Kim to the basement, all the creatures fracture one of her feet. Those devilish creatures drag her into the darkness. When Alex arrived there, Kim had already been abducted. He rescues his daughter and takes her out of that house before leaving with her. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one.